You know, this used to be one of my favorite places to escape to, my Facebook Lives. And I had to stop, mostly because I used to get blocked, suspended by Facebook. And I guess the second reason being the fact that you monetize on YouTube, you know, so it's easier to go on YouTube and make videos there because at least through the ad spend, etc., you get to make a bit of money as well. The times when I'd be unsuspended, brought back by Facebook, all of a sudden my videos would have this reconnecting sign, even when I know that my network is very strong, whether it's my mobile data or my Wi-Fi. I'm not even going to be surprised if this video at some point starts reconnecting and the signal is bad, because I think Facebook as a platform just doesn't like me anymore, and I've come to accept that. But I wanted to make this video live, and make it here in my original home, which is Facebook and Facebook Live, because I can save this video, possibly. On YouTube, maybe I still need to learn the functionality, but I don't currently know how to save the videos on YouTube for me to be able to play for people that may have missed the live. Yesterday, I made a video, pre-recorded video, after accidentally hearing the conversation on Podcast and Chill with Tol Ass Mo, Mac G and Soul, of course. So I decided to do a video, and in that video I said, look, I haven't watched the episode, so I'm still going to go watch it. I pre-recorded it. I've scheduled it on YouTube, so it's going to come out tomorrow morning, Saturday, the 10th of December at 8 a.m. on my YouTube channel, Penuel the Black Pen. I just sat through the almost 2 hours now of the conversation. Mostly Tol Ass Mo venting, angry, understandably so, you know. And I wrote down a lot of notes, and in my notes, I think I just wanted to give some of my thoughts on the conversation, highlight some of the things that stood out for me. I have a lot to say, and I think it's probably not going to work in one sitting. It might be too long. And of course, if this signal kind of gets disturbed for whatever reason, I'm going to have to shut down the video. So let me start by saying this, you know, because you guys have become my community and I appreciate you very much. I don't know if I say thank you enough. If you've never heard me say thank you, I want to say thank you for watching my videos, for commenting on my content, for subscribing to the channels that I'm on YouTube, for being on my TikTok. I think my TikTok's almost on 145,000 followers. My YouTube channel, Penuel the Black Pen, my original channel, is at almost 37,000 subscribers. The Penuel Show has done amazingly well in the last 3-4 months of its existence. We're over 30,000 subscribers, which I'd like to think is leverage, or has been leveraged off my being on the Hustlers Corner with DJ Spoo, where we grew the channel from 45,000 to close to 150,000 subscribers. Maybe some of the traveling I've been doing, my consistency in my work, uploading videos on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube, doing podcast interviews, doing videos with DJ Spoo, interviewing certain people, meeting a lot of you, man, you know, commenting here, Instagram as well, and Twitter before they permanently suspended me. So I just want to say thank you for all the support. I'd like to think a lot of it is because my content is educational. So it's not necessarily that you like my face and you're like, oh my gosh, he's so pretty, let me support him. I think it's genuinely because I do try and make an effort to educate. I do try and make an effort to offer solutions after complaining on how to live a better life, how to take better care of yourself. I do try to plug some of you, you know, telling you how much YouTube pays. I think for me currently it's about 5 cents per view, which is not a lot of money. And for most people, you're not going to make a lot of money off YouTube. So what you do is you use YouTube to market any other offerings you may have in the real world so that you can make real money. TikTok, making money off TikTok, telling people to start gardens, community gardens, WhatsApp groups for your community, getting involved, teaching you guys about politics, venting and being angry, etc., etc. But for the fact that you come here when you could be anywhere else, you know, you could be on TikTok right now, on Instagram right now, on YouTube right now, on mainstream television, listening to radio, chilling with your family and friends. You could be anywhere. You could be at a party. You could be at a club, but you're here. You consume my content, and I don't take that for granted at all. It means absolutely everything to me. So yeah, man, where do I even start? Just thinking about it actually makes me tired. My first note here is reality TV, and Tol Ass Mo went and he explained the difference between licensed work and commissioned work, saying that the minimum that you get paid for commissioned work is about 3 million rand. You know, people don't really understand TV production, and I myself don't know much, but I'm trying to learn. But my understanding is, I'll take it a step back. Television platforms, SABC, DSTV as the two popular ones in South Africa, they offer a platform. They offer a platform for people to come and tell the news, make shows, flight movies, sports, and other things. It's a platform. It's like getting on a stage. It's a platform. Radio is the same. What social media has allowed us, like me being here, it's allowed us an alternative, easy to access platform to speak and connect and entertain and educate people. So it's a platform. And on that platform, all the shows that are there, they get a lot of people to watch. And after a while, they realize that with people watching so much, we can make money off two major income streams. The first one being subscription, of course, which DSTV does, pay television. The second one being advertising. Because now that people are here watching this stage, all these brands that want to be seen can be seen. While you're watching Generations, Uzalo, The Wife, doesn't matter. In between, there's like, let's play these ads and let people pay us for playing these ads. So because of that money, they share it with the production companies that make this content, news, sports, whatever. It's the reason why sports athletes get paid so much. It's the reason why influencers on television get paid so much. It's the reason why actors get paid whatever they get paid, newsreaders, etc. All of that money comes from this ad money, and it comes from subscriptions. So if you're doing a reality TV show like Umo and Mome, with Umongezi and his wife Umome, you can either do licensed work where you carry all the costs and the risk, and then it's yours, you own it. And then you go and you try and pitch this to the platforms. They can pay you to play that. I think Trevor Noah did something like that in some of his comedy specials before he left South Africa. I'm not sure how Netflix works in terms of comedy specials, but that's what was happening. The second one is commissioned work, where you go and pitch. Normally with a pilot episode, you go and shoot it on your own. You go to the boardrooms, you pitch, here's a show, here's the concept, here's the idea. If you guys like it, if you guys say we must rework it, etc., we do that. And you get paid. And production companies for reality TV are about 3 million. He said, I know some get paid 5 million. I'm sure shows like Living the Dream with Somizi, Bing Bonang probably get paid a whole lot more because of the attention. Obviously, if you get new seasons, it's probably because your ratings are really good. People are watching your show. People are talking about your show. People want to see more of you. I mean, you look at Uthando Nesthembu, Utumo Samselego as an example. These are shows that have lots of seasons because people are enjoying the content. And because people are enjoying it and because you have good views, you can then get a higher pay from these platforms. Obviously, today we've got social media. You've got the panel show. You've got the virtual Nkuku. You've got the Hustlers Corner. You've got Podcaster Channel, etc. They're these platforms where YouTube comes and advertises, and YouTube shares some of that money with us, the content creators. And the hope is that over time, if it's not happening currently, I think OM Films, Offense Mwase, his wife, Mama Nels, and the rest of the team, they get paid because they make this money and they say, look, to be a cameraman, to do sound, to be an actor, maybe in some of the comedy skits, to do this and that, we will pay you. So that literally becomes production. And like I said, because it's not the SABC, DSTV, it's easy. Literally use your phone to get into this space. So shout out to Tol Ass Mo for sharing some of that information, even though it was short. It was very short in passing. He ended up dissing Mocha Love, which I think was wrong, because he was saying Mocha Love pays R1 million for a production. The reality is Much I Love is a new platform, you know, and it's actually given birth to a whole lot of new stars. Also, Much I Love takes a lot of flack, you know, Aubrey Tao and the team there. And I was one of the people hearing stories about Jola 99, like, no, that's a trash channel. It's painting black people in a bad light, etc. But I took time to watch some of the shows. Some of the shows are definitely toxic and are probably not good for the mind. Some of the shows are very educational. Shows that cover legal cases, what to do if you're struggling to get access to a home or land, relationship issues, etc. And like I said, they've created platforms for certain artists and stars. If you look at Ujubju, who had been written off by the industry, cancelled, you know, so to speak. Much I Love went and gave him a chance. And he became a star with Uyachola 99. So I think it's wrong to diss Much I Love. And I can only imagine how many jobs they've created, how many new celebrities they've created, and the education in some of the shows that they have. I think they've inspired channels like ETV to also focus on the reality TV market. Of course, Mzansi Magic does it as well. The second thing I noted down was Tol Ass Mo speaking about Lerato Moloi, describing her as black and ugly, no eyebrows, whatever. I understand you're speaking from a place of pain. You know, you've been falsely accused of rape. You go through this process, you get cancelled by basically everyone. So it only holds that you feel the person who led to this is someone who is evil, someone who is ugly. You know, but as someone who's a public figure, I've come to learn, not myself, but through studying public figures, you realize that there needs to be some way of carrying yourself, because there are always people watching, you know, and it may be people who objectively don't choose a side. They're not on her side, they're not on your side. They're just people that want to work with you, but they look at how you carry yourself. Not to say that you mustn't speak your truth. You must. You definitely must speak your truth. But there is a way that your truth must be delivered, you know, that tells other people if they should work with you, approach you or not. If they think you actually might be a good person or a bad person or not. And I think it was wrong for him to speak about Lerato in that light. Understanding, of course, that he was speaking from a place of pain and anger. When someone has angered you, of course, I vent about the ANC. I mean, I post regularly these days, fuck the ANC. Look at what's happening with load shedding. Look at what's happening with the potholes, service delivery. Of course, I'm angry. I'm very angry, you know. I need to speak my truth. But I can imagine on a certain platform, if I had a certain profile, if I was a multimillionaire, if I was a billionaire, if I had a certain reach, I would have to change the way I probably have to speak. Not necessarily because I've been captured or because I'm no longer myself, but because there are implications. And some of the things you learn, I guess, as your profile grows. You know, I know I will still swear because it is part of my culture. I come from a hip-hop culture. I will still swear. I will still tell my truth. When I look at some of my role models, the Dave Chappelles, the Joe Rogans of this world, these are people that keep it real, you know. And obviously, Tol Ass Mo is also a comedian. So in some of the disses, Lerato Moloi not being the only one, the way he spoke about Rosie Mutene, you know, saying that he kind of like a tin of cool beans. You know, it's not cool, but it comes from a place of pain and hurt. But for me, it's just, if you can, in that time of pain and anger, try and count your words. Try and consider your words. I see my Facebook is starting to do its thing of reconnecting. But I was saying that just be careful as your profile grows. Once you have things to lose, of course, which is a form of capture in just how you carry yourself and how you bash other people. You will slip, you will call Ramaphosa or Makhaleni because he's got a big nose, which is, look, it's a trait he has. If he was tall, we'd call him a giraffe, but he's got a big nose. It's him. Uzuma babemhleka because of the shape of his head. You know, obviously, there's a way that you carry yourself. And like I said, once you become a public figure, you have things to lose. You must just try as well as you can to measure your words. I'm not going to mention this part. Do I really want to speak about all the points? Maybe I don't. Some of them are actually not really that important. Really, really pedantic things that I wrote down here. Here's an important point I maybe want to raise. Cancel culture. Tol Ass Mo with a couple of influencers, thought leaders, celebrities, personalities. We did a couple of episodes with Castle Milk Stout, Black Conversations on Blackness. Unfortunately, they were highly edited on Mzansi Magic. I think they were like 24 minutes long, of which we'd go for 2-3 hours. Important conversations, which people, I don't know if at some point they'll release them maybe on a YouTube for people to consume fully. Tol Ass Mo was in the conversation about cancel culture. And my point on cancel culture is this. We sometimes point fingers at big organizations and big brands as these, I don't know, these huge concepts, like a concept of God, a brand and a company. The reality is that these companies and these brands have human beings that work there. People like you and I. They are young kids as well, black kids, sometimes black females, that sit in these companies and they get to make decisions. They make decisions on which influencer gets selected for a campaign. They get to make decisions on who gets hired and fired in a company. They get to make decisions on the angle, the direction, the creative direction that companies need to take. And these kids get to pick which celebrity influencer gets to get cancelled. Of course, they follow what's trending on Twitter. Of course, they listen to some of their big clients. They listen to corporate clients and their thoughts on certain individuals that they may or may not like. But they get to make the decisions. And most of the time, when you speak to some of these kids that work for these companies, it's 2-3 people that sit together, look at what happened on Twitter. No, we can't work with that guy. 3 people who also have the power to be like, no, we do want to work with that guy because his court case has not gone to its end. And we're willing as a company to release a statement and say, guys, we have seen the allegations, we note them, we are tracking them just like you guys, and we are concerned about what happens in this country. But we also respect the rule of law. We understand we are human, we understand people are emotional, but the reality is this person has not been found guilty. And it would be wrong for us as a brand to go and pick a side without the law taking its case. If not only wrong, it's reckless. Because when we cancel this person without them going through the full process of the law, we are going to take money that they deserve, take away an opportunity, and we are in some way, because we are now pulling back, probably going to influence other brands and other people to not work with this person without them having been tested in court. It happened to people like Java, it happened to people like DJ Fresh and Euphonic and many other people that have been accused. Whether falsely or not, the bottom line is they have not gone through the process. Now, if we have that type of mentality as a nation, as a people, what does it say about us? What does it say about your child and someone accusing your child? And look, it came on in my notes later. There was this boy, I think his name is Ubafana, I think it was Justice for Bafana, who was accused by a girl in high school of rape. And this boy went and he committed suicide, left a suicide note. And this girl who had accused him came out and said she was joking. She was joking. We affect people's lives with our words. Words carry power. It is words that are captured in the Bible, in the Torah, in the Quran, in the Buddhist writings, in penalism principles. It is words. It is words in the Constitution that binds you legally. It is words that sit on a title deed. It is words that sit on a loan contract. It is words that decree laws. It is words that liberate people from slavery. Words are extremely powerful. So we need to be very careful about the words that we use on social media, in the offices, when we speak to our families, picking sides. You are always allowed to pick a side. It's your prerogative. You can say, I believe this person, I don't believe them. The problem is when you are a person of influence and you have the power collectively on social media to say you believe someone without stating why and without also adding the disclaimer of, we understand that the process must go through. I believe Cyril Ramaphosa may be guilty of corruption. Yes, he has not gone through the process, but when I look at the matters, Shanduga worked with Glencore. Glencore has been found guilty of bribery across many nations. This is Glencore that works with Shanduga. So if Glencore's working with Shandu and if Cyril is part of the same ANC, which has been seen to be linked to so much corruption, and Cyril Ramaphosa has benefited from the beneficiaries of apartheid and colonization, perhaps this guy may be guilty as well. And it has been proven at times that he's lied, but there have been no consequences. There were people that were killed in Marikana where there's a link with him asking for concomitant action. So I think Cyril might be guilty. He might be corrupt. But at least you qualify your statement and you're not saying, Cyril very corrupt. And you happen to be someone influential, or even if you're not influential, a million of you on Twitter hold this thought and all of a sudden actions are taken. It's a very dangerous, and you won't understand this until it happens to you. It happened to me, of course. I did an advert for Standard Bank. Or I shot 2 interviews for Standard Bank, interviewing entrepreneurs. 2 girls on Twitter were like, you guys are working with Penwell, this guy is a scammer, he runs a Ponzi scheme, etc. And those episodes were revoked. I didn't work with Standard Bank anymore. They told me about reputational risk. Those are the cute words that people use to legally violate your rights, legally take away your rights, to be like, but I haven't been proven guilty. There's no evidence, no, but reputational risk. It's airy-fairy and it means nothing. And in reality, this thing you call reputational risk, you cannot even prove it. Can you prove that South Africans, the majority of them, did not like Jacob Zuma, and having him as a president had a reputational risk to South Africans? Can you prove that? And if you can't, that means you're lying. And it means it's 2-3 of you that are deciding. It took a few people at Netflix to decide to keep Dave Chappelle's comedy specials after the LGBTQI, transgenders in particular, wanted them taken down. It was a few people that made a decision at Spotify to keep Joe Rogan's podcast there, after people say nobody's spreading fake news. It's a few people, and I'm telling you guys, in these brands that you think are so big and mighty, there are a few people, young kids, black kids, that sit there and make these decisions, and they call it reputational risk and the brand. It's bullshit. It's actually bullshit because it is not founded in facts, and there's no process that have gone through the mill. Be very careful in the words that you use. I was a bit worried about Tol Ass Mo, and look, he is a comedian, and normally what comedians do, Trevor Noah, Dave Chappelle, Joe Rogan himself is a comedian, Ricky Chavez, I think. Those guys make comedy sometimes a bit very, very tough. Kevin Hart, very tough situations. Steve Harvey, etc. It's interesting when a comedian's gonna make jokes about something that affects his life on a very deep level. Because some of the ways Tol Ass Mo was speaking about his experiences were very funny. And he was ripping at the feminists that were attacking him, and he was ripping at the people that didn't stand by him. And it was funny, and you laugh. But I don't know if it's appropriate for him to be speaking about his very sensitive situation like that. I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know, but it's uncomfortable terrain for me in a space like that. I know Dave Chappelle has done something similar, speaking about the fact that he was almost cancelled. People tried to cancel him, making a joke about it, laughing about it. But I don't know, because it is a sensitive matter and it is a rape accusation. He now stands tall. He's been found innocent. And Lerato Moloi, according to him, is a liar, perpetual liar, etc. We don't know what that lady's going through. She could indeed have lied. The court of law, as I've said before, in this country, the legal system, I don't trust it. It is not a justice system, it's a legal system, because there's no justice. If there was, all of these corruption cases we've seen over the years, all of these corrupt business people, people like Marcus Jooste, would not still be enjoying their lives. And petty criminals, a mom stealing formula for her child, would not be languishing in jail. Falsely accused people would not be languishing in jail because they can't afford bail money, because they can't afford smart lawyers. And I listened to Tol Ass Mo also speaking about he had to pay 40 to 50,000 rand for lawyers for a letter. Lawyers are sharks. And it's like every day I'm learning, I'm beginning to hate lawyers more and more. These people, like doctors, are not in the business of solving your problems. They're in the business of making as much money as possible through the legal system from your problems. They will kick matters forward, they'll go back and forth, they will try and negotiate settlements as long as they are making money. They will not tell you can actually do this thing yourself. You don't need me. Just as much as a doctor won't turn you away and say, don't consult, go home, jog, drink some water, exercise, get some sunlight. You don't actually need me. You can use herbal remedies, can plant your own ginger, can get apple cider vinegar and you'll be fine. They need you to keep coming back to them, getting the medicine over and over. And the medicine is not to cure, but to manage the symptoms. And they tell you to keep coming back for checkups. Lawyers are the same. They are sharks. And it's how they've been trained through law school. Because the reality is, if we could all solve our own problems, if our families could solve our own problems, if our communities could solve our own problems, we wouldn't need lawyers, we wouldn't need courts, we wouldn't need magistrates. Pointed something out in the conversation about how a magistrate was wrong. And I've had a similar incident where a magistrate, I had to school a magistrate on the law. Sorry, again, I'm reconnecting. I hope my videos are going through. I hope they're going through. Again, like I said, Facebook does this thing of reconnecting. Ever since I started being suspended, especially aggressively last year. Digger Boy, SA Music 2. I can easily show you how to save videos from YouTube to your gallery. Thank you very much. I'm going to check that out. Because if YouTube at least is better quality and is not going to be disrupted, I'll go on YouTube and I'll make my live videos there. It will lose the people on Facebook, but unfortunately this platform is not friendly to me anymore. And I know they throttle a lot of my content. I've got 157,000 followers on Facebook, but Facebook no longer shares my content to my people. If anything, because they constantly threaten that my account is at risk, my content is not shared to a lot of people, which is kind of sad, but Facebook is not my platform. It's got its own algorithms and its own people. And in one way or another, it is canceling us in some way. Schooling a magistrate. Tsietsi Musi, your videos are going through. Thank you so much for confirming that you can see me. Oh, sorry. If you can, please share this video. I think there's an option to share. Maybe people on your profile will see this video and will come through and join us. I'm not sure how much Facebook will try and block this video from getting out there. Magistrates sometimes don't know the law and you have to school them. Ironically, it's the reason why you need a lawyer, so that the lawyer can school the magistrate and convince the magistrate. Actually, there's a section in the law that says this, and the magistrate will say, I will go and review. Because they may not know, they may not have seen, and because there's so much law, they may have forgotten it. It's the reason why certain doctors, for example, have to go and look, I need to just go and check, or they refer you to a specialist because they're not really sure about that thing. But a lot of these things we could resolve ourselves. And lawyers have become these huge vultures that milk people. And it's largely because we have given our power to politicians and the courts and the lawyers, instead of giving the power to ourselves. By and large, from a nature perspective, never mind from an education, from a nature perspective, by and large, we know right from wrong. But now when wrong is enacted in society, we don't feel we can solve the problem. We quickly want to run to the police, quickly want to run to the courts. It's the same way today when something's going wrong, you have to wait for the politicians, or when you should be doing it yourself. We're not teaching our children how to fix cars so that if the car breaks down, they can change the tire and not have to phone AA. Teach your children how to shoot guns and to get their own guns so that if they are criminals, your children can protect themselves and not have to wait for the police and be scared. If your children are hungry, they're not, oh, my app is not working. What am I going to eat? I can't call Uber Eats. Go cook a meal. Oh, but the shops were closed. Where am I going to get food? Grow your own food. Yeah, but Umfundi says, be your own spiritual guide. Be your own pastor. Be your own preacher. Be your own God. You have outsourced so much of your power to external imaginary beings, to external other human beings that are flawed, that have emotions, that are corrupt, that don't have your interest at heart. And largely, I'm mostly just trying to make money. when you could solve some of these things yourself? Lawyers are extremely expensive, and we've normalized the fact that they're expensive, and they should. And some of these industries, these are high industries, chartered accountants, lawyers, doctors, tax advisors, financial, all of these people, they gatekeep their industries because they know that if there are more of them, they won't make as much money. But I'm telling you now, sorry, again, reconnecting. Sbusiso for smooth, my seller. The video's going through. We hear every word, brother. Thank you very much, Sbusiso. We have just given so much of our power away, man. We're almost shells of beings. We are zombies. We cannot think for ourselves, cannot do for ourselves, cannot protect ourselves, we cannot feed ourselves. An animal like a monkey, like a chimpanzee, is more powerful than us because it owns its destiny. It can fight, it can hunt, it can forage, it can deliver its own children, it can educate its own children. It doesn't need the schooling system and farms and retail stores and lawyers and the police and politicians. The monkey is more powerful and has more dignity than us. People who cannot survive without a social grant. In a world that does not need money or shops, we have convinced ourselves that we cannot survive without these things. And when people like myself try to educate, empower, of course we get shut down because it's not popular. This guy is giving away our secrets. Go to Google, go to Wikipedia, go to YouTube and learn medicine and learn law and learn the rights of police and the powers of police and learn how to manage your own finances. Learn how tax works. Learn how the South African Reserve Bank works. There's like a website for the South African Reserve Bank. Study, become strong, go to a shooting range, get a gun, learn how to shoot, learn how to fight, become strong, lift weights, run, learn how to speak. You don't need to go to law school to learn how to speak like a lawyer. You do not need to go to med school to understand medicine. You do not need to become a parliamentarian to understand how politics and the laws in this country work. Read the Constitution. Read some of the laws. You can read some of the accounting standards to understand accounting. You can understand foreign policies, immigration. It's all here. The internet is decentralized information and you guys are not using it. Instead, you have become shells of humans, constantly waiting for someone to save you, to help you, to feed you, to protect you. And then you wonder why you're oppressed and exploited, why you're taken for granted, why you're abused by corrupt politicians, corrupt business people. It's because you do not respect yourself. You do not have dignity. Two of the things that were raised in the Tol Ass Mo conversation on Podcast and Chill was the Thembi Samdoda and Atandwa Kani case, of which I'm surprised so many people don't know the story. Thembi Samdoda and Atandwa Kani dated at Wits, broke up, then dated later. She fell pregnant. He did the right thing, married her. At some point, there were allegations of cheating. He asked for a paternity test. There was fighting. Eventually, she succumbed. I think the children were 4 years old. It was twins, twin boys. And it came out that he's not the father. They got divorced. Huge story, huge scandal. You can go read up about it online. You know, Thembi Samdoda, Atandwa Kani, twins. And what has happened since then. And the part that comes out is who gets to get cancelled. Thembi Samdoda, maybe lying about paternity, does not get cancelled. If Atandwa Kani, for example, had gotten other women pregnant during that time, he's looked at as a bad person. Tol Ass Mo obviously raises this concept of if a woman If a man has been acquitted by the courts, found not guilty, what happens to the woman that raised the issue? And for me, of course, it's dangerous to just say if the guy is found not guilty, that automatically the woman's guilty. The law should not ever work like that. If there is not enough evidence to prove guilt, it does not necessarily mean you're not guilty. It means you have not provided enough evidence to prove guilt. On the other hand, if you can prove that the person lied and bring the evidence, then the person should be punished. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I hope you understand what I'm saying. If I'm accused of rape, domestic violence, I'm accused of theft, I'm accused of corruption, fraud, whatever, and the person accusing me cannot provide enough evidence, witnesses to prove that I'm guilty, it does not necessarily mean I am not guilty. It means the evidence is not enough to prove that I'm guilty. If I have been found not guilty and I'm like, these people are lying about me, I need to gather evidence and witnesses to prove that these people lied about me committing fraud, corruption, raping, killing. I must prove that these people lied. I must show WhatsApp texts, voice notes, bring witnesses who said, actually, these girls told us that they were going to falsely accuse you. And then I must open a case and prove that they are guilty of what they did. And then there must be penalties. So if Lerato Moloi it can be proven that she lied, not via being found not guilty, but proven that she lied because somewhere there was intention to lie. There was malice. She maybe confessed to someone. There's maybe somewhere there's written something which I'm going to destroy his career. Find that. Submit that and say this woman must be punished at the same level as I would have been punished for this crime. I hope you guys understand me. One of the things about us giving away our power is the fact that we can no longer enact justice as families and communities. It's starting to rain heavily outside, I can hear, so maybe the signal will be distorted. And maybe if the signal gets bad, I'll end this live and I'll carry on with it another time. Mob justice is dangerous because mobs are normally a bunch of highly emotional, highly angry, violent people. So if we relied on mob justice, a girl that we like, who's at the church, who greets everyone, accuses a guy of rape, we are going to beat that guy to death without going through due process because we like this girl. Perception. In the same way, if it's a girl who's slutty, always drunk, takes drugs, accuses a guy who's loved at church, greets everyone, helps people, people will be like, this girl is lying. Just based on perception, which is what social media does. Mob justice. Social media, Twitter in particular, is mob justice, which has real life consequences. Mob justice is dangerous, but we need to, again, if we study the law, and not just Roman Dutch law, but real law, African law, natural law, nature. If my child has been violated, if a crime has been committed, let us sit together, let's find the perpetrators, and let's see if we can resolve this thing. Let's see if the person can be punished. Let's see if damages can be paid, etc., etc. And let's resolve this thing before it goes to strangers who don't care about us. And this thing hurts me the most when it comes to family matters like domestic violence in the family, when it comes to matters of children. I'm a father. That is a mother. We have a child. That child has got aunts and uncles. That child has got grandparents. That child has got friends, our friends, stakeholders. Are you telling me myself, the mother, our parents, our siblings, our aunts and uncles, our grandparents, all our friends, that entire network of stakeholders, you're telling me of those 300 people, we all can't come together and resolve this thing? And it has to go to some lawyer I've never met, some lawyer she's never met, who are only there to make money, to sit in front of a magistrate who doesn't give a flying fuck about our child, to make decisions about our child, a child that has stakeholders. You're telling me we all can't come together and find a solution? That means we are not creatures with dignity. We are zombies. We are hollow. All of us. I will watch my sister suffer, my brother suffer, and I will not come close and try and assist. No, rather go to the police. No, take this to court. No. Let me try. Bring the parents, bring the person. Let us exhaust the stakeholders. Let us exhaust trying to find real justice here. And then you can bring the external. We're not there. We've lost it. Justice for Bafana, this boy that committed suicide because a high school girl accused him of rape falsely. She later said she was joking. We need to stop normalizing suicide. We need to stop normalizing suicide. Suicide is not a way out. I don't think enough of us are doing what is necessary to build a strong mind anymore. Our minds have become very fragile and very weak. And I think that's why when the idea of suicides and you watch these clips and she took pills and he hung himself, where are you getting that from? WHP was speaking about some platform called Suicide Assist where they tell you how to commit suicide. What the fuck? How do you build a strong mind? Go to YouTube, watch interviews with David Goggins. Goggins. David Goggins. Listen to interviews with Dr. Jordan Peterson. Watch clips on TikTok and other spaces of Andrew Tate. Build a strong mind. How do you build a strong mind? Number one, you have to build a strong body. That means you're gymming, taking walks, running, doing push-ups, doing squats, doing calf raises. It means lifting weights, doing pull-ups. It means eating good food, not this junk that you guys eat. Good food, nutritious food. It means getting sunlight, something we were deprived of during the hard lockdown. Go outside and get vitamin D, this energy source, the most powerful energy source on the planet. Get some vitamin D, charge yourself. You need to be charged. Get some vitamin D, go out, take off your shoes, take off your socks, walk on soil, walk on grass. Touch the soil, touch the grass, feel the earth. When you see other human beings, hold them, hug them, feel another human being's energy. Eat well, exercise, drink water. When you're not feeling well, instead of this Western medicine idea of rehab and isolation, no, don't be isolated. Go immerse yourself with your loved ones. Go to your siblings, go to your parents, go to your grandparents, your favorite gogo, your favorite mkulu. Sit with them, hold their hands, wash their hands. Tell them you like to rub their feet, massage their backs, connect with them. Sorry, reconnecting. Burp. Don't normalize suicide. Do the things that will give you a strong body. Do the things that will give you a strong mind. Read up. Embrace struggle. Life is not meant to be easy. Someone lied to us at some point. Soft life. No, hard life. I represent hard life. I love hard life. I understand that life is meant to be hard. And because I understand that life is meant to be hard, I will build myself to become stronger than life, so that life then becomes easy. But it's because I embrace the struggle. I know when I drive the car, I might be in an accident. My tire might burst. So I'm preparing myself by learning how to fix my car, learning how to drive better, etc. because I'm embracing struggle. I understand in raising children that children are difficult at times. They cry, they pain, they get bullied at school. So I will train myself to embrace the toughness of life. Adulting will not show me flames because I know adulting is meant to be difficult, but I will be an adult. I know the hurdles are never ending. I know I need to make money. I know I need to make hard decisions. I know I sometimes need to downgrade my expenses. I know I need to be there when someone has passed away, when someone's not feeling great. The hardness of life, embrace it. Hard life, not soft life. Like I said, go spend time with your elders. I think I'll end there for today. The network becomes an issue here, so I've written my notes down. The weather's not great. My network on Facebook is no longer great. I'm going to save this video, of course. Please feel free to share it. I'm appreciating all the comments. What I'm going to try and do now, if the network allows me, I'm going to move to TikTok, at God Penwell on TikTok. I'm going to try and go live for maybe 15 minutes, mostly trying to bring people to this video and also just telling people to look out for my YouTube video that's coming out tomorrow morning, Penwell the Black Pen at 8 a.m. If you're not a subscriber, if you haven't clicked on the notification bell, please go and do that so that you're notified of the video coming out. The Tol Ass Mo conversation, our podcast and chill with Mac G and Sol. And the importance of these conversations from all sides, because it's a dynamic topic. It's a dynamic topic. At God Penwell on TikTok. I'm going there immediately. I'll raise some of these other points if the network allows me. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch up with you guys on TikTok on the live. I also don't know how to save lives on TikTok. I don't think we can. And one of the users here, I think it was Digger Boy, said that they are going to teach me how to download, or maybe I'll check on Google how to download YouTube lives so that I can try going live on YouTube, because at least I can monetize some of that content. I'm not making some of this content to make money. I appreciate the money as a bonus. I'm doing this for education, for empowerment, and because I'm hoping that if I build you to become better, I will live in a better world, because I will not be alone with the knowledge and the information. You guys will be there to educate and empower me, to protect me, to help me, so that we can build a better world, where I can extract value for the value that I'm giving to you, sharing with you. I do, and that's where we monetize, because it's one thing to give value to the world, but you also need to learn how to extract value